inspiration, no mood, no time, unable to focus, distractions everywhere, no creative ideas, too much routine and emptiness in your head. Are these your excuses for not creating or posting a new video? Come on! There's not a single creator in the entire world who hasn't hit once a creative dead end. This feeling is strong, it's frustrating, but it's 100% fixable. And today I want to share my 5 tips on how to overcome this condition and continue to generate creative ideas. Wow, that was an intensive start. So now, when I have your attention, let's get into the topic. But before I jump into the first tip, I want to emphasize that the majority of my reasons why sometimes I struggle with lack of creativity is laziness. Yes, it may sound simple, it may sound stupid or not entirely related to creativity, but laziness is my number one enemy that eats my creativity. And whatever excuse I have to justify this dead end, laziness is always on the very bottom of this pyramid. So the first tip on how to stay creative is ask yourself a question: am I lazy? If your answer is yes, then you need to start struggling with your habit to postpone doing stuff. Example: I don't feel that today. I have plenty of time to shoot this B-roll for my video next week. I better watch some movie or surf social media today. Yeah. Do it now. Don't wait for the perfect moment to happen. In many cases, creative ideas are coming during the process of creation. So instead of rushing yourself on the last possible day with shooting something that you could do a long time ago, do it now. And you'll see that creative ideas, they don't need a perfect moment and place in space continuum. Sometimes it's enough to just do stuff, then creative ideas will come themselves. However, if you answer the question, am I lazy, with no, you're lying. There's always room for self-improvement. Think of stuff that you have to do but it makes you feel uncomfortable. This is something that you would rather postpone in time. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of stuff like that, and I do have as well. I have to finish creating my sound effects pack, I have to make some changes to my webpage. I have so many things I need to do that I try to justify with lack of time. No. Everybody has 24 hours and everything is doable. We just need to struggle with our laziness and just do stuff. Creativity will follow. Second tip on how to stay creative: change your environment. It may sound a little bit sarcastic, especially now at the beginning of 2021, when travel restrictions are still in place and planes are not flying everywhere. But by saying change the environment, I also mean microenvironment. Don't be lazy and go out. Even somewhere near your neighborhood, or even better, to the part of your city or village which you've never had an opportunity to visit before. Every new experience and location gives your brain a sign to create new associative connections that later will be used for creation of new ideas. Did that sound too smart? I love going to mountains, and in general to spend as much time as possible outside in nature. This is my way of accumulating new ideas and stimulating my creativity. A lot of B-roll in my videos is coming from mountains, forests, and this kind of environment. For the others, it may be something different, more city vibes, or sea and ocean. It may be anything that is different from your home environment. If some of you don't have such a possibility to go anywhere, or you're just a lazy guy level hard, try to rearrange your house. Move your chair or sofa to the place it was never before. You may repaint your walls using a different color. You may buy a plant or put a new photo or painting on the wall. There are plenty of ways to change the environment, even if you're stuck at home, but every small change pushes you towards creative thinking. Tip number 3: write down your ideas. Or let me rephrase: don't be lazy to write down your ideas. Some time ago, I was underestimating this way of registering my thoughts. I was too confident about memorizing important and creative things without having a need to write them down. But later, I understood that a human's brain is not as reliable as I thought. Plenty of times when I was sure that it was impossible to forget something, I did forget that. Sometimes it's enough just 30 seconds and $1 million thought just vanishes. And then you're like, what I was thinking about like a minute ago? I don't even mention hours or days. Right now, I have a habit to immediately write down my thoughts that are interesting, not necessarily too creative, but at least they are documented and may help my brain in the future to do a creative job. To write down your thoughts and ideas, you might use a regular notebook, your phone, your hand, Whatever, just write down this idea and come back to it later. It may seem even stupid or too obvious the first time you write it down, but don't worry about that. The most obvious observations that you documented may have a huge value for you sometime later and play a key role in generating a creative idea. This was tip number 3. Tip number 4. Go through your memories. When I think about the easiest way to look for inspiration, to look for new creative ideas, the first thing that comes up to my mind is going deep into my memories. Of course, I don't mean to just sit and intensively think about what happened to you in the past, despite that may also be some kind of approach. What I mean, if you need to receive a huge portion of inspiration pretty fast without moving from one place, you might check your old photos and videos. All the memories we have deep in our heads are very accessible, and to reach them, we just need to give our brain some pieces of information, especially through our eyes and ears. I love going through my old photos. Sometimes I look at them and then I'm like, wow, did I take this awesome picture? Why haven't I posted it 2 years ago on Instagram? Our perceptions of things at the time we're doing something in the past and now are radically different. Thus, thanks to this mixture of memories, emotions, and new perception, our brain has enough resources to produce these new associations and creative ideas. This is a very powerful instrument of awakening our sleeping creativity. That is why I use it pretty often. My last 5th tip for you is music. Listen to the new music. Don't create borders and sit in this bubble of limited types of music that you normally are listening to. Try something new. If you are using sites like Epidemic Sound or Artlist for your videos, try to use a filter sorting music from the newest to the oldest ones. You might also try to listen to the new genres that you never heard of or always ignored. By the way, I've never thought that one day I would love electronic, synth, cyber vibes music, but now I love them, and I use them pretty often in my videos. And all this happened because once I went out of my comfort zone. You might even try to listen to classical music, which I love a lot as well. I even wrote down a quote from one of the articles about how classical music influences our brain. Listen, researchers explain that classical music is believed to enhance the brain's spatial temporal reasoning or the cognitive understanding of how items or pieces can fit into a space. So to cut a long story short, by listening to classical music, you are additionally stimulating your brain the way that you are getting smarter and your memory works better. Memories, from the other hand, as we previously discussed, help us to build new associations and as a result, new creative ideas. That's amazing how music may directly influence the way our brain works. That's why this tip is so important. I totally support it and I use it on a daily basis. Guys, 5 tips is just a drop in the ocean among all the possibilities on how to stay creative. I find inspiration also by watching the videos of other creators or by reading famous quotes of successful people, but these 5 I mentioned before I believe are the most juicy, the most authentic and important as per my experience. Stay creative, don't let laziness eat your creativity, be positive and everything will be just perfect. Guys, put in the comments your ideas on how you stay creative, I would love to see your thoughts. And if you would like to find some inspiration in my content, check out these videos over here, I'm pretty sure you'll find something useful for you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet, like this video if it was helpful, and see you soon. Cheers!